Today, we are diving into a concept that might just change how you see your everyday life. We're talking about Ikigai, the Japanese path to finding your true purpose. Let me ask you something. Do you ever have one of those days where you're just running around nonstop, checking things off your to-do list, but at the end of it all, you feel kind of empty? Like you were busy, for sure, but not really fulfilled? You're not alone. It's a feeling a lot of us have in this crazy, fast-paced world. But what if there was another way to approach things? Well, it turns out that on the islands of Okinawa in Japan, they have a special word for exactly that. A word that wraps up this whole idea of living a life that's packed with meaning and purpose. And to really get it, we need to start there. We're going to look at the Secret of Okinawa, where this isn't just some abstract idea. It's how people actually live, day in and day out. You see, Okinawa is what's known as a blue zone. That means it's one of the few places on Earth with the highest concentration of people who live to be over 100. And it's not just a fluke. Their incredible longevity is woven into the very fabric of their lifestyle. The real secret here isn't just about adding more years to your life. It's about adding more life to your years. And it all boils down to a few really powerful pillars: having a clear sense of purpose, being part of a strong community, eating a simple diet, and moving your body naturally every single day. So that brings us to that core idea, that sense of purpose. It has a name: Ikigai. Let's really break down what that means and how you can start to define your own. Okay, so what is Ikigai? Well, the translation is beautifully simple. It means a reason for being. You know, it's that thing that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning. Not because you have to, but because you genuinely want to. It's your own personal mission. Finding your Ikigai is kind of like solving a puzzle about yourself. It's about asking 4 really big questions. First, what do you absolutely love doing? Then, what are you naturally good at? Next, what does the world out there need? And finally, what can you actually be paid for? Your Ikigai, well, that's the magic spot right in the middle, where all 4 of those things overlap. So, this all sounds great, right? But how do you actually start living this way? Let's walk through 6 key principles that can help you build a life full of purpose. And here's the best part. This is not about some huge, dramatic life change overnight. Nope. The path to Ikigai is really all about small, simple, and intentional things you do every single day. Anyone can start this. All right, the first 3 principles are all about your physical and social health. It kicks off with the Okinawan way of eating: lots of veggies, tofu, and fish. This goes hand in hand with moving naturally. We're not talking about brutal gym sessions, but things like gardening or just going for a walk. And so importantly, it's about building strong social connections. That sense of belonging is absolutely vital for a happy life. You know, there's this one little saying from the Okinawan diet that I just love. It's harahachibu. It basically means you should stop eating when you feel about 80% full. It's such a simple but powerful idea about moderation, about listening to your body instead of just eating until you're stuffed. The last 3 principles, these are more about our inner world. It's about finding flow. You know that feeling when you're so into an activity that you completely lose track of time? It's also about working on a positive, resilient outlook. And finally, learning to live slowly and mindfully, slowing down to actually notice and enjoy the little things in life. When you start to weave all of these principles together, something really profound starts to happen. You stop just drifting through life and you start living with real intention. And that, right there, is the ultimate promise of Ikigai. So yeah, following this path might lead to a longer life, and that's an incredible bonus. But it promises so much more. It promises a life with depth, a life with purpose, and a life with real, genuine joy. It's about shifting from just being alive to truly living for something. So I'll leave you with this to think about. Forget about the huge 5-year plans for just a second. Instead, ask yourself this: what is one small, simple, joyful thing I can do today that feels like me? Because that's how it starts. The path to a meaningful life is built one small, intentional step at a time.